Right, the next item is item 10, which is the Business Improvement District policy, but since the Chair of Strategy and Finance isn't in the room, seems a bit of a shame. Would you like to introduce it?
I'm happy to introduce it. Look, I think personally this policy is a really, really good policy. It's going to enable some of those smaller areas to actually be able to sort of coordinate and come together and do things together to actually enhance their business areas. And it's really, really important, more so for some of those smaller suburban areas where they are struggling with it to make sure they keep their people local. The only concern I have about it is the $100,000 threshold, which I think may be prohibitive for some smaller areas. But overall, I think this is a really good policy. As I say, it's and I think it's more than just the ability to actually extract some income to actually enable them to do things. It's more about that facilitating the bringing together of the businesses, because I think that's where the important part lies. Is those businesses working together to try and achieve better results.
We'd put a flexible threshold in there.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't actually say it in explicit. It does talk about. I'll have to go to the page.
Hey?
My understanding.
Is the council may consider a reduced minimum rate revenue requirement on a case-by-case basis.
That's right.
Yep. Situations where this might be considered include two or more smaller business areas working together to create one bid, or a single business area where the bid proponent group or bid operator can demonstrate they can successfully deliver a work program that will provide sufficient benefits to businesses in the area using a lower targeted rate revenue. I think that's an ideal outcome.
Yep. So that's something the committee asked for and has been changed.
Yeah. So has anyone got any questions that they'd like to put to staff? Questions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in terms of the next steps, once this is done, how soon will people be able to kind of do it?
We'll start engaging with business associations pretty much straight away. So we'll start talking to them about the concept. We're working on some implementation standards and some criteria for the funding. So those would be conversations that we can have with business associations over the next few months.
Okay.
There is also a couple of references in the paper to the expected time frame, and we do point out in the paper that the speed of a bid will depend on the calibre and preparedness effectively of either the proponent or the business association, and it might be over a period of 1 to 2 years before you see some of those come through, and will also depend on the magnitude of the size of any proponents, and what the changes that council are prepared to adopt. The implication of those is that there's probably opportunities for a lot smaller bid proponents to come through than was previously the case. Whether that makes things faster or whether it's necessary will be the test of whether a bid is necessary versus those same proponents taking alternative approaches to getting the same outcomes.
Right. Okay.
So I just wanted to briefly speak to it.
Yeah, but Raf, you would like to move this motion?
Yeah, sure. I think this has been through about 5 committee meetings, hasn't it, by now? Yeah.
So you'll move it?
Yes.
And Jamie would like to second it. Right, thank you. Yanni, speak to it.
Oh, I just wanted to ask one more question.
Oh, sorry. I thought everyone had done.
Sorry. Yeah. Where did we get to with neighbourhood groups being able to apply as opposed to just business?
Yep. We changed the terminology in the policy to proponent group, so it's not strictly business associations. We would expect most of them to be, but it doesn't preclude others from doing that.
Yep, thank you.
Very good. Yanni.
I think this is a new thing that we're doing, and that's really good that we're trialling something new. I think the key thing is that we do need to have an element of flexibility, and also we just need to make sure that we do have really good engagement around what this means, particularly in terms of the areas that go through any sort of ballot I guess one of the disappointments for me was the fact that we had so little submissions, and particularly from business groups. I think there were only 2 business associations that actually made submissions, but I think when there's things like master plan consultations going on, it would be really good to maybe think about how we can connect those. But I think fundamentally the key to this will be learning as it goes and refining it over time to ensure that we do get the outcomes that we're seeking. Interestingly enough, it is wider than just businesses, and there has been some work overseas in other cities that have these, I think in the Los Angeles area, which actually talk about a church actually doing, leading the discussion around an improvement district, and that was really successful. Other times where council have just gone in and said we want to do it, it hasn't been so successful. So I think there's hopefully enough flexibility in this policy now that we can actually work through a variety of different ways in which communities may be able to access and establish these areas, and so let's hope that it's successful, and let's hope that we do get good take up. Thank you.
Jamie.
Yeah, I'd just like to say with respect to bids, there's nothing new about these at all. There and I'm actually really pleased to see that we're not reinventing the wheel, because this is something that's been implemented across the world, and it's been implemented very successfully. What I particularly like about it is that it empowers local communities to really be in charge of their own destiny. Nothing's going to be forced on someone, nothing's going to be imposed on a group or a business precinct that doesn't want it. It does require a supermajority to do this, and it requires a very good voter turnout as well. So this is going to be a tool that local businesses can put in their toolkit should they want it. But just that other final point that was made earlier about widening this to not just businesses, I think that's great too, because it most certainly doesn't need to be restricted to businesses. So it probably could be called SIDS in the sense that it's a community improvement district. But I think it's a very good initiative, and I'm very supportive of it. And like I said, it helps local communities, businesses in a lot of instances, be in charge of their own destiny, and really empowers them. And I think that that's the greatest thing that a council can do, is to really enable the talented people that they have in their own backyard to be able to get on and do what they do best. And this is a prime example of a policy that enables that.
Right, I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you. Thank you very much.